Are you ready for a thrift flip challenge? Awesome, because that's what we're doing today. My friend Linda from the channel Life on Summer Hill and I decided we would do a little thrift store challenge. I would find her some items, she would find me some items, we would exchange those items and see how we could make them over. Stay tuned to the end so that you can see all of the makeovers. I'll be giving the items that she has given me a little transformation, plus these items right here that I got from a recent thrift haul. So come on, let's head over to Linda's house and see what she's got for me.
Okay, so is he not the cutest thing?
He's cute.
I almost kept him. I don't know what you can do with him, but he's way cute.
I can see my grandchildren trying to ride him.
Her wheels are turning.
My wheels are turning.
And then we found this old wooden bread box that was so pretty. It needs some work,
Yeah.
but I don't know what you can do with that. But I know you'll come up with something good because you're like
They're
a
great.
master at it.
They're great for storage
Yeah.
of all kinds of stuff.
Oh my gosh, y'all, I've been editing this video and I don't know what was going on that day. I really don't. Well, I know a little bit, but my facial expressions and my body language and my energy just totally didn't match how I felt inside whatsoever. So, I mean, I do know I didn't sleep at all like the night before. Thank you, perimenopause. But gosh, I was also really thinking hard about how I could change the items instead of, showing how excited I actually was. I was immediately thinking like, what can I do with this? And so, goodness gravy, I don't know. I just don't know. It's just baffling. Sometimes this face just does what it wants to do. I don't know how else to explain it. Now let's see what I picked up for her.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. It's a suitcase.
You gotta open it.
I gotta open it. And it actually has a... Oh wow. Where did you find this? You found this at Goodwill?
Living on it.
Oh my gosh.
Look at all that artwork, cross stitch work.
Oh my
Isn't that amazing?
gosh. That is so cool. Oh, I have an idea for this.
I have an idea. Okay.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Her face.
I have
is
to
so
flip
fun
her.
today.
I mean, she's, okay, I can do something. But
So I think she found some really great items. And I have probably at least 3 or 4 ideas for each item that I want to do with it. So as I go along and give the little makeover, I want you to leave me a comment in the section below and let me know, do you think I went the right direction or do you think I should have gone another direction with the makeovers that I'm doing? So we're going to get started by giving all of this a good cleaning because especially this one's really, really dirty. So we're going to give everything a good scrub. Then we'll start with the first makeover. And the first makeover is this cute little duck. We'll give it a good scrub first. I'm spraying it down with some white lightning, and then we're going to give it a good scrub everywhere. She had a little layer of dust around her that needed to be knocked off a little bit. And then we rinse with clean water and wipe off the excess. So I had a few ideas. Let me know what you think I should do with it. But the first idea, I thought I might use it as a planter and put it out on my patio, and you do it in a royal blue. Then I thought, I don't know, I'm not sure if I want to do that. And then I thought maybe I'll put washcloths in it and do it in more of a navy blue and put it in my bathroom. And instead, I think I have decided to take it apart and do something really fun. So I have been loving the whimsical animals that are from Anthropology, I believe. There's several other places around the internet that have them as well, but they're little golden heads with, they'll have like glasses or cute little hats or whatnot on them. And I thought, what if I took this apart, and since it was made by hand. It's actually coming apart quite easily. And then I just took my screw gun and we're going to take that bottom off right now. So then we'll be left with the head and the tail. And we'll just hang those up on the wall. And when I first saw it, I thought decoupage. That's what I really wanted to do with it. So can you see my vision now? A head and a tail. And then we'll just do them in decoupage. And I even have a scrap piece of lumber for later on for another project. Since we're going to be decoupaging these, I'm going to give it a coat of off-white paint so that the decoupage paper will show true color. And what I like to do, since this is raw wood, I like to wet the wood down and wet my brush down. You can water the paint down as well, but this will give you nice, smooth, even coats. Otherwise, it will soak into the wood in certain spots and not in others. And then your second coat goes on nice and even. So you're just going to put the coat all over the entire thing, the head and the tail, and then once that dries, you go ahead and put the second coat on, and yes, you can see you get a nice, smooth, even coat. Then what we're going to do is we're using a napkin for decoupage. So we're going to take the white layers off of it. There's usually at least two, so make sure you really double check to make sure you get both of them off. And we're using this decoupage because it goes well with the chairs that are in my breakfast nook, and this is where these are going to go. And then you're going to take a little bit of water and an artist brush. And what we're going to do is we're going to outline each kind of group of flowers. I don't want to put it on as one solid piece because it wouldn't get into all the nooks and crannies, and it just wouldn't lay right on the duck. So we are going to break everything apart, and what this does is we're just going to tear it really nicely, and that gives you a great way to layer the flowers, as well as it lays nice and flat. So we're just going to lay everything out, kind of a beginning dry fit is what we're trying to do right now. Then we'll go ahead and we'll take Dixie Belle's Clear Coat Satin, and we'll use that as a decoupage medium. We'll put a nice even coat on, not too thick and not too thin. Then just take your brush and smooth everything out afterwards, making sure it goes up and over the edge. I want the entire thing decoupaged. I had contemplated whether or not I want to do kind of like a Mackenzie Childs kind of look on it, and I was like, you know what, we're going to keep it simple, and we're just going to decoupage the entire thing. I am having a total floral moment right now. I'm loving all kinds of flowers. I always have, but right now especially. Okay, now see how this has got like a lot of hot pink in it and a lot of hot pink in the centers. And so since I have more red and not so much hot pink in the breakfast nook area, I'm going to add just some little touches of red in here. Also, this is very blue, and so since I have that teal in there, I'm just going to bring little bits of teal into it as well. So I'm just going to take some red, and we're just going to paint that, kind of using what's already there as a stencil. Then I'm going to take some lighter turquoise, and I'm going to add it where those blue flowers are, and then a little bit of a darker teal on top of it just to add a little more dimension. Add a little teal to the center of the flowers, a little more red, and a little hot pink where it's a light pink. Now we're just going to add a little hanger onto the back. Then we'll hammer a nail into the wall and get them hung up on the wall. Got them in the breakfast nook. They probably won't stay on this wall, but it's the best place to show you how they're going to look together. I think they're absolutely darling. You see the vision I had now? You think it was the right choice? So for these glass things, we're going to head over to the sink. We're going to give them a good scrub. Come on. So the theme for this project is keep it simple because I have a tendency to overcomplicate things and underestimate how long something's going to take. So I'm challenging myself to be keeping it simple, keeping it short and quick project. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some gold gilding wax. And we're just going to grab a paintbrush. The first thing that I thought about doing was painting this white and then maybe distressing or something. And then I thought, ooh, it's like a resin material. And I thought, well, maybe I could make it look like wood. Sure. Or I could just add a little bit of gilding wax, turn it gold, and she's done. So I went with the third option. Let me know, do you do that too? Do you like overcomplicate things sometimes? Now that it's had a few minutes to dry, we're just gonna buff it off, buff it out with this rag, just removing any of the excess. I have all these shells. This isn't full, it's got some filler in there. We'll just add some shells. Coral, cute one there. One more curly cue that we could add right in there. There we go. Wasn't loving it, so I'm coming back in with some brown wax. And then just wipe off the excess. Well, what do you think? I think it gave it a little more of an aged look, and it looks perfect up on my built-ins in my family room. And now we'll head on to the glass vase that has this lovely bubble texture on it, kind of shell-like. All right, now on this piece, we're going to start upside down and then flip it. And since this is a decorative piece and it's not going to be moved around and banged a bunch, I'm not going to prime it. But if this was something that, say, I was going to put, say it was a vase that I was going to put water in, or it was going to get moved around a bunch, I would definitely prime it. And I'm just using a pouncing motion. When you're doing it, when you're painting on glass or anything that's super smooth like this, you want to use a pouncing motion, because otherwise you'd put probably 5 or 6 coats on trying to do with brush strokes. Also, there's so much texture. I just grabbed another jar of paint and I'm just gonna set that on top of there while I paint it so that it's up off the, I did get a little bit on the rim. I was trying not to, but I did. Now this is the silk paint. Technically it doesn't need a sealer, but I will be putting a sealer on it because I don't want a matte look. And I know you're probably thinking, what are you painting a shell hot pink? That's insane. But it's in my color palette, and I have little bits of hot pink, but I wanted to add just a little more of that color. The silver really helps to tell where you've got the coverage and where you don't. I think it looks perfect on the other side of my built-ins. It works perfectly. I might be adding maybe a little bit of wheatgrass or something, but I love her. I love the hot pink. Hey y'all, if you get a second, will you go ahead and hit the subscribe button below? This small channel is growing every single day, every single week, and I do a happy dance at every single subscriber. So if you get a chance and you like this video and you'd like to see some more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, now for this shell planter that I picked up at the thrift store. Had a couple ideas, but I really wanted a marbling type technique, and I think I found a fun one to do this time. So I headed outside with a can of spray paint in white color, and I just gave it one good coat, making sure you get it all coated really well. Y'all, I went inside to let this dry, and I come back out to get it, and look who came to visit. They're just so curious. These are my neighbor's chickens. And well, it's not the best day to do this, but I'm going to try my best. My friends back here, they just seem to be so interested every time I come out here. So what I've got is a bucket of water and my shell, and then 3 different colors of spray paint. I've got a black, a white, and a silver, and I actually have a gold as well. So four different colors of spray paint and some gloves, and we're going to do what's called hydro dip with spray paint. Whew, it is chilly. It is like one of the coldest days of the year, and that's what I meant by not the best day to do it. Not because of my little friends. They're fun, so they don't bother me whatsoever. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some paint in there, and then let's add a little. That's the gold. That's some black. Some more silver. And then we're gonna kind of marbleize it. Hopefully, we dunk our shell in. Just shake it and bring it out. Woo. Oh, that was actually quite cool. I mean, I love to do a paint pour, but it was a lot more fun. Oh my goodness, and a whole lot less mess, that's for sure. That's gorgeous. Oh, I want to do a whole bunch more. What else can we dip? This was a new technique for me, and I have fallen in love. Like I said, I love to paint pour, but this is a whole lot less mess. And oh my goodness, I can't wait to find the next thing to dip. Remember how I said it was cold? Well, this is what we went to sleep to, and this is what we woke up to. Y'all, this is North Florida. We do not get this kind of snow. We don't get any snow for that matter. This is unheard of. I mean, ice hanging off the trees. Where are we? Okay, now to the bread box. So I already have a bread box that I use to store my vitamins in. You can check out the link in the description after this video is over and check out that transformation. So I started asking my family if they needed one, and lo and behold, my oldest son has been looking for one. But I don't think this two-toned effect is what they're looking for. So after it's cleaned really well, we're going to give it a scuff sand with 120 grit sandpaper. You're just scuffing everything along. You're just trying to give a little bit of tooth to the surface, and that's it. We're going to give a stained look to this piece. So after you've given it a good scuff sand, then we're just going to wipe it all down. I'm going to show you guys a couple of the ideas that I found on Pinterest that I thought were really neat with bread boxes. They had where you can take it and use it as a shelf. You know, you can put it by your, say, if your side door, like where you go into your garage is in your kitchen, it would be a great place to put it up on the wall and then keep your keys in it. You can put a little hole in the back and use it as a cell phone charging station. If my oldest son hadn't said he wanted it as an actual bread box, I was going to give it to my middle son who just had a new baby and see if they wanted to maybe use it to keep wipes and diapers in. So when it comes to this, you really just got to think outside of the bread box because there's so many uses for it. So to make a stain with paint, what you basically do is just add some paint, water-based preferably. I'm using, this is an all-in-one paint. Typically you don't want to water down an all-in-one paint because it dilutes the sealer. But since I'll be putting a sealer over the top of this, I'm not too worried. But this is Dixie Belle's silk paint, and the color is Anchor. You're just going to add a little bit of water at a time. I'm playing with fire with my brand new white apron. And I have brand new white shoes on, tennis shoes. So we're going to try this and see what happens. So I taped off the accordion part because my son loves things that are stained. My daughter-in-law doesn't care too much. So I'm left that to see if maybe they're going to want to leave that part stained. And then you just wipe it back. Okay, back to the drawing board. I showed my daughter-in-law how it was coming out, and she agreed, let's just go with a solid black, and then we'll stain the accordion part. It just wasn't coming out well. I could have sanded it down to raw wood, but that would have taken way too long and gotten into, hard to get into all those nooks and crannies. So we're going to do it solid black. We're going to take my zebra brush and we're going to apply the silk paint undiluted. We're just going to use nice long brush strokes, and we're not going to overwork the paint too much. Okay, we're going to add some stain to this part to even everything out. So I'm picking up American Honey. Make sure I put on some gloves because I am notorious for, and on both hands, even though I won't get it on both hands, but I am notorious for getting it everywhere. And then I'm going to grab my, I didn't have a foam brush, so I stole my granddaughter's, and then a little artist brush to kind of get into all the cracks. So we're just going to start getting it on, painting it on there. I found that the artist brush worked better. I just would get it into the cracks really well and around the edges, and then come back with the bigger brush after. And then I also just needed to work it in really good in between each one of those slats. Then you're going to take a paper towel and just wipe it back, any of the excess, even all the color out. Now it's time to seal it, so we're going to grab some gator hide and a applicator sponge. Now gator hide and another artist brush. So gator hide is a water repellent sealer, and it needs to be stirred really well every time you use it. Don't shake it, always stir it. Then we'll just take some and we will put some on a plate or in a bowl. Anything that's disposable works really well. And then dip your sponge in and wipe off any of the excess and apply it to on top of the last coat of paint. You're going to use nice, soft, even brush or strokes across the piece. And then we'll take that other artist brush and we'll get into all those nooks and crannies and wipe the gator hide across this entire thing. These are all Dixie Belle products, and again, the links will be in the description. Now, once 2 coats have dried, you're going to go ahead and give it a nice sand with 220 grit sandpaper, and then put on 1 or 2 more coats. I think it came out beautiful. It's nice, sleek, classic. And I think it will be perfect in their kitchen. Here's a little mock-up of what I think it might look like in their kitchen. Well, this has been so much fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. Tell me what your favorite project was. And please let me know in the comments below. Do you have other ideas of what I could do with some of the other projects? There's a link in the description below for Linda's video, so make sure you go over and check that one out right after you get done with this one. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video.